Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 261. On this show, we showcase gun reviews, gear, and anything else a gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm your host, Chad Wallace from the Firearms Radio Network, your source for all things firearms related. On this show, we will be discussing the Work Sharp review, a 380 pistol, and a DD rifle, and that's Daniel Defense for all you who couldn't figure it out. Tonight on the podcast, we have Zane, Rob, and Tony, the usual. Zane is now back with his refreshed soda pop.
that ain't soda pop, my friend.
So, what did you guys do in guns?
Well, I'll go first since someone else wants to talk. Not a lot. I taught a concealed weapons course. I've been doing those quite frequently lately. So I got 6 new Florida people licensed to carry firearms, which normally would be a scary thing, but my class I'd like to think is pretty good. So we're not your typical Florida people.
So what you're saying is you're not Florida man.
I'm Florida man, but I get out of each classes. I don't, so it's all good.
I gotcha.
And I'm pretty sure I had an optic legit on me.
You're cutting out
so
a little bit.
Am I?
Oh, I thought it was just me.
Let me cut my video.
We don't want to look at you anyway.
That's good.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure I had an optic legitimately die on me, like completely crap the bed.
Ooh.
Have been so I'm not sure what's going on with it. It could have been that the batteries I got were bad for it. One of the ones I replaced batteries in. So I'm gonna get another different brand of battery and from a different everything and try that. And if that doesn't work, it's going to go back to the manufacturer because the manufacturer has an outstanding warranty. So we're going to see what happens.
I'm just going to say it's a good thing that it happened during practice because it might have got you killed in the street.
It's not a for-realsy gun. It's not a for-realsy gun. And spoiler alert, it's a Vortex optics. I don't care. I'll throw them out there. But again, it could be a battery problem. And Vortex has one of the best warranties in the business. So if it's not a battery problem, I'll send it back to them and with some harsh words, and they'll send me one that
You don't have to give them harsh words. Just say I think the darn thing's broken. And send it to them. They'll send you a replacement.
Or fix it.
It's weird. I put the battery in it, confirmed 0. It was fine. Then I pulled it out the other day and it wouldn't turn on. So I took the battery out. Put the battery back in. It was on. Racked the charging handle, and the dot went away. So I took the battery out, put it back in. Dot was there. Racked the charging handle. Dot went away. So I could have got a crap battery, maybe. I don't know.
I would say
actually, if all you're doing is racking the charging handle, I think there's probably something wrong with the light.
Check the little tab in there that. Both tabs that contact the battery.
I looked at that a little bit, and I'm totally not a electronics expert at all.
This is what you do. Obviously, the problem, since these guys are horrible at diagnosing, is you need a new charging handle.
Yes,
that's the problem.
Yes.
It's not an ambidextrous charging handle. Is the problem. And it's also not nickel boron coated.
Is it a multi-automatic pistol though?
I just got upstaged by Tony, so
so I'm gonna throw a different brand battery in it. I used I think Energizer and I think Duracell is the preferred battery for optics. Either that or I got that backwards, one or the other. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna try a different brand battery just to make sure it's not that. And then from there it's it'll go back to them and I'm sure they'll take I'm sure they'll take care of me, because they have a pretty decent warranty.
Now, Zane, here's what they'll do. They'll get your optic back. They'll send you a new one, and they'll take your optic and throw it in the to be fixed or to be chuck pile. One of the.
They're going to be mad because I spray painted mine, but they'll be all right.
No, they won't.
Well,
they'll just toss it then.
because I'm online, and everybody online, they know what they're talking about. They
Yep.
said, have you tried opening the battery compartment and running some water in it?
Mm. I did try turning it off and turning it back on again.
Did
but
you,
I did not
did
try
you wait
the
30
water
seconds
trick.
after you put the
Oh,
battery
yes, 30
out?
seconds. And you have to jump up and down, too.
But that just we make a lot of jokes and stuff, and yeah, they have a great warranty, but it just reminds me again of why you need to, 1, buy quality gear, and 2, check your gear. Check your gear. Like, there's nothing wrong with Vortex if that's what you can afford. There are better options out there, but if that's what you can afford, there's nothing wrong with them. But check your stuff. Make sure it's in working order. Like, if that's what you're going to depend your life on. That's a range toy that's on. So it doesn't work. That sucks. I got to shoot something different today.
This is somewhat related. I have a couple ancient, and I'm talking ancient Tasco Pro Points.
Do they still work? Really?
I have had 0 problems with those things ever.
That's crazy.
And to make it even worse, both of them are now mounted on my submachine gun. One is on the 9 upper and one is on the 22 upper, and I have had 0 problems with them ever.
That's utterly ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, the battery life on them sucks because they're early 90s technology, but they're still a decent sight. So, I guess sometimes, and I just consider them range toys, and the sights are the same, but they've never failed me. So, okay. Yeah. Rob, what'd you do?
Oh, can I actually caveat on that real quick?
You can.
All right. So here's my caveat to optics. And this is kind of controversial in the gun world.
Should
and
I just mute you now?
No, it's cool. Most of the professionals probably going to disagree with me, but if you're going to use an optic that has like crap battery life or crap whatever, you should probably have a fixed front sight so that at least inside your home, you can center that front sight post somewhere in that circle glass, and you'll still be able to get hits inside 15 yards.
Just get a shotgun. You don't even have to aim.
You don't have to aim shotguns. You just point them in the general direction, and if there's like 9 people down there, there's 9 pellets in buckshot. So
if you run outside and shoot it in the air, you're still going to hit the people?
Yeah.
Well, that's what Joe Biden said.
That's the Joe Biden defense.
Okay.
He said they're going to run away.
They run away. Okay, Rob, you're up now.
Geez, actually, I didn't do anything over the weekend. I'm coming into what we call the busy season at work, so I'm not having a whole lot of time on weekends and stuff to be able to do anything fun because my weekends are usually getting broken up by work.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
And plus, it was supposed to rain all freaking weekend, so I said, okay, I'll just work at home. I won't do anything. I got some stuff I got to take care of. And we had the most beautiful weekend here. Well, y'all were getting hammered up north. It was so nice. Nice and sunny, a little bit overcast, a few clouds, but it's beautiful down here.
No joy.
It was.
Well, when you consider last weekend, it flipping rained almost all day Saturday and all day Sunday.
So, unrelated to guns completely, but related to about the beautiful weather. Saturday, I went to a brew fest where they had like about 35 or 40 different breweries, and you could drink all you want, try all you want. And I wore shorts, flip-flops, and a short-sleeve T-shirt. And it was
heck, Friday night I went to a Scotch tasting. So, nah.
There you go. That's why it pays to be in Florida, people.
Yeah. Florida man ain't so crazy, are we?
Now that we're done with the Weather Channel portion of the
show. and the booze.
Hey, we're not done with the Weather Channel yet.
Oh, okay.
It freaking snowed here last night.
Oh, poor kid.
Okay, go ahead, Tony.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just go ahead and be like everyone else. It was 66 degrees in Jersey today.
It was not 66 degrees in Jersey.
It was hot as a mother today. It was well in the 60s. How ridiculous is that? Oh, you think I'm joking? No, it was in the 60s today. What else? Oh, I went to the Great American Outdoor Show Sunday and Monday. Met a lot of different vendors, saw a lot of different guns. Really cool, a lot of fun hanging out. Saw some of the new FN 509M. It is so exactly the size of a Glock 19. So I checked that out. This is something funny I did.
How's it work with your pinky though? Is your pinky ride the exact same spot on it as a Glock 19?
It's the exact same spot as a Glock 19, but because the Glock 19 mags are not flush with the bottom, I'm showing it on the screen on my SIRT pistol.
Right.
Well, I use mag pull mags, so they stick out even further with that gap. So when my pinky is there, the mag pull mag with the recoil continually rises up, crushes my finger, and drops down while the recoil is happening. So it's just continually pinching my finger as I'm pulling the trigger. These won't do that because they're the exact same spot, but they have no play. They're flush anyway. So I checked that out. But here's what I did. The place is huge. If you're within 4 hours of Harrisburg, drive there. It ends Sunday. It's really worth going to. Bail on work. Don't even go to work Friday. Go check out the show. It's huge. Tell them I said you could leave. I checked out Nighthawk Customs booth. They have a bunch of their stuff, including the course revolvers. So I'm just sitting there like Yosemite Sam, like two-fisting, dry firing, like, you know. I'm like, hey, look, everybody, I'm Steve Fisher. I have what I call customs. So I'm dry firing them and checking them out. Then I go over to the Smith & Wesson booth, and I check out their 1911s, right? They got some of their performance in their stuff. You can feel it like, woo. You can feel where the Nighthawk is better, but then you pull the Smith & Wesson. I'm like, all right, where should I go next? I'll go to Springfield Armory booth. Yo, dude. Wow. Maybe you can do it in your gun shop. But when you go from one to the next, the drop-off between between Smith & Wesson and Springfield Armory was huge. Just the feel of the triggers. And I went through like 4 or 5, because everything is new. Everything is show guns. But It is what it is, dude. It's like you can really significantly feel the difference. And I just had to laugh. And then I started checking out and we've talked about it on the show before. How low down on your I'm going to check out new pistols is Springfield Armory. And as you're going through a show with a bunch of different firearms makers, I mean, just it was like I stopped by SIG, stopped by Smith & Wesson. Forgot to stop by Mossberg and check out their M1C?
Whatever it's called.
Whatever. I forgot. So I'm going back to Harrisburg Thursday, and I'm going to go and check that out. I got a little list of places I want to see and pictures I want to take. But it's a lot of fun. So my whole thing is I didn't do any real gun shooting except dry firing and just tactically fondling everything in Harrisburg. It's great. Lots of vendors, man.
The fanboys get mad, man, but Springfield for me is like just slightly above Taurus on my list of things I give a F about.
Yeah, stop by Taurus too.
Yeah, yeah. Anything good over there?
I went and just nothing. I'm standing in the middle of all of their stuff, right? And I went, I really don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't care. Because I know about their customer service. I know that most dudes that swear by Taurus really don't shoot them a lot.
Nope.
So I'm like, you're swearing by a gun that you don't put a lot of rounds through. And the people I know that have had to send them back said their customer service was horrible. I know people that knows people that ran their customer service, and they're cool with a 9-month turnaround time.
Dude, I'll give you a perfect example, right? So I sold a Taurus pistol to a guy, and he asked me, did it have any problems? And I was like, yeah. I mean, it every 2 or 3 magazines, I get a jam. it doesn't feed as reliably. It's not every 2 or 3 rounds, but I can't go more than 3 mags without experiencing some sort of malfunction. I mean, I told him, I was like, well, it's a Taurus, dude. Like, I'm selling it to you for the cheap, so what do you expect out of it? And he's like, well, I don't know. My wife's got one, and we've got 978,000 or however many rounds he said to it, and it's never had a problem. I was like, well, you know what? You'll probably never have a problem on this one either. Dude actually messaged me the other day after like 6 months. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. This gun never has a problem. I'm like, yeah, it's because you don't shoot it. Like, it has problems. You just don't shoot it, so you don't notice. And you know what? That's cool, bro. Because I got my money's out the deal. You got a gun that you like, and whatever, bro.
Okay. Anyway, I saw them. I'm gonna look at a lot more. But here's the cool part about going to a show. Timber Creek Outdoors. They have accessories. Their show discount is like 40%.
That's legit.
So that's what I'm saying, guys. If you go there, no one's selling a firearm there. But they have holster companies, knife companies, and they're giving severe discounts on the show price of stuff they can sell without having FFL.
And if you go the last day, they really don't want to take all that crap back with them.
Yeah, do you know how far that drive is for Timber Creek?
Ammo. That's the entire country.
Yeah, because they're literally like 35 miles from me.
Yeah, and that even includes like gun shows. If you go like the last couple hours of the last day of a gun show, that's where you find your deals, because the less they have to pack into the truck, the better.
Yep. So, truthfully, the ammo on the last day, LAX ammo is there. Hey, show up Sunday. Show up Sunday around 4.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they won't want to haul out.
You'll get that junk pennies on the dollar.
Yep.
I shouldn't say junk. I'm not familiar with them, so yeah. I take back the word junk. I'm not familiar with them. It might be great stuff. I just meant junk generically.
Yeah, no one wants to haul ammo back if you can sell it, just because of shipping it.
Where are they out of?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea where they're out of. I know a couple of channels, Mac and Just an Opinion. That's their ammo provider, and I think also Mr. Guns and Gear, or maybe used to be. I don't know.
I think they need to be a Tony Simon ammo provider.
Yeah, I'm working on a couple of those.
Yeah, Tony Simon will take anybody.
Man,
for sure.
I need an ammo provider. What y'all talking about?
Well, I do too, but that's the thing is, I figure I'm being nice here because Tony actually is doing more good and needs an ammo sponsor more than the rest of us.
Yeah, but I'm more selfish. So,
well, you got that right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
we were joking about that one day. I was like, "Yeah, Tony, you get stuff for free." I was like, "Yeah, free."
Nothing's free. Well,
my soul is not worth this.
Well, I'm with Rob this week, as all I did was write a review and start another one because I got some reviews to catch up on, and so I'm going to try to be pumping them out here for you guys. So I guess that means announcements. Bandwidth sponsor is our buddies over at Patriot Patch Co. They have no new patches for pre-order, but do join the patch of the month because it's awesome. The February exclusive is Size Doesn't Matter, with a couple of ARs, and one's short, one's long. One has accessories. But you know how that is. So if you are shopping for AR parts, you can go to Gun Tech USA and buy some stuff for us. We have an affiliate link if you want to use it. If you're shopping Amazon, we have an affiliate link for firearmsradio.tv/Amazon. And last but not least, we have a 2A4E code when you're shopping Black Bag Resources to donate all that stuff to Tony. And if you can't figure it out, just ask one of them. They'll tell you. Rob.
My turn?
It's your turn.
All right. The views and opinions expressed in this... The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows. And if the three of us can shut up for a little bit, Tony's going to tell you about a knife sharpening devicey thingy that he got.
Oh, Tony is
he?
Or
I'm gonna
Chad will, or somebody.
See how this is.
I was going to say,
I'm waiting, Tony.
But
Chad did this. I thought Tony did this.
No, I did it.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, this is going to be a crappy review.
Hey.
I'm going to go get a beer.
You do that.
Well, tell us how you really feel over
there. So what we have is the Workshop Tools Ken Onion Edition. Basically, if you know anything about knives, Ken Onion's a big knife designer guy, so that's about all you need to know about that part. But it is a knife sharpener, and as anybody who carries a knife or uses a knife knows, you should have a good sharpener, because otherwise you're just going to have a blunt object that, I mean, you couldn't even stab a Florida man with. So they did send me this for review after I talked to them over at the Blade Show West, which was up in Portland here. It's like I said, it's an electric sharpener. It kind of resembles a side angle grinder. I'll kind of hold it up here so you guys can get the idea, but you can go look at the pictures. Basically on the side is this knife belt sharpener area. That's where you actually sharpen the knife. It's got this little trigger system with a adjustable speed and a lock on the side, so you can set it up, lock it down, and it's not like you have to hold it while you're sharpening your knives. You can actually hold it and do it, but it does have little feet and sets down on the table quite nicely and works best. You can also rotate this sharpening headpiece, and what that will do for you is, like, if you need to sharpen something like, say, a big blade that you have laying out somewhere, or a lawnmower blade, something like that, I could see it very useful for that. You could probably use it for other things too, but you'd have to find out for yourself. Basically everything you need is in the box except 115 volts to plug it into. It comes with 5 different belts, as you can see here. Basically from extra coarse to extra fine is what I used to call them. I only used the extra coarse belt once, and that was because I busted a tip off a knife and I wanted to reshape it. And amazingly, it took no time at all to reshape it. The extra fine belt, which is thinner, is more of it's like 6,000 grit or something. So it's more of a polishing belt. It gives a mirror-like edge to your blade after you've gone through all the rest of them. I didn't take a picture of one of the knives I sharpened, but if they have a pretty sharp blade, reflective, I don't even know if the light will do this any good. The nick was from something else, but you can kind of see it reflect the light in the video, but not quite. Change the belt super easy. All you got to do is, this one is your spring-loaded tensioner. You just kind of push it up and the belt falls off, etc. You put a new belt on, same type of deal, which makes it nice. I may say I used the polishing belt to polish some fire control groups of an AR just to see how it would work, and it actually did quite well. It shined them up and didn't really take any more material off, so I thought I'd try that out, and it worked like I expected it to. There is also, like I mentioned, the variable speed trigger with the lock, so you can adjust the speed, which they measure in like square feet per minute or something. There's also an edge guide here, which you kind of pull and it locks out if I can get it. So if you have a long knife, you can rest it on, let me see if I can do this backwards, on here to give it something to guide itself on. The around the backside is the angle adjustment for the blade. It goes from 15 to 30 degrees. And what you can do, what it's made for is you rest the flat of your knife on this guard, and then you just pull it across as it's running. If you put too much tension, it's spring loaded, so you can change the angle. But you can also take it off if you feel the need to. This thing does work. I pretty much sharpened everything, every knife we have, kitchen knives, everything I could find, I sharpened with this. It didn't take long to get the hang of it. I mean, there is kind of a small learning curve, but I wasn't too worried about it. They have really good instructions. It did take, like I said, a little time to get used to this angle, because if you put too much pressure, it spring loads and changes it. Once you get used to it, like I said, no big deal. The one problem that I noticed, which isn't really a problem, is when you're using the angle guide, you get to a certain point and you don't really have support on the side of the blade anymore. So it's a little bit harder to get the tip of the knife guided in and sharp to the same angle. I just kind of freehanded it and it seems to work fine. Those are basically the only problems that I could find with it, if there are any. I mean, this thing works so well. I don't think I'll ever sharpen a knife the other way. It isn't cordless, but hey, you can't have everything. You can find replacement belts pretty easy. I mean, you can order them from Workshop if you want. Like a couple local stores here have them, which is kind of nice. It makes it nice. I think retail price on them is like $18 for a set of 5. I have not worn mine out yet, so I'm expecting they'll last a while. I mean, it's kind of a quick review here, but this thing's top notch. Some might say it's a little pricey. It's like $130, but if you do a lot of knife sharpening or small stuff like that, you can't really beat it. So we'll get into the Firearms Insider 8 key points, claim to fame. It's, a powered knife sharpener with different blades, or not blades, but different belts. So target markets anyone who wants a fast knife sharpener. Features and benefits, we went through most of them. 15 to 30 degree edge angle. It comes with 5 belts from 120 to 6,000 grit. They are 3/4 of an inch wide, except the polishing belt, which is a 1/2 inch wide. They said that way it can get into curves and stuff better, like if you have a serrated knife. It is variable speed from 1,200 to 2,800 square feet per minute. It has that speed lock and the adjustable head. And you also can get other options that bolt onto this head for sharpening, which I thought was kind of cool. I did not get any of those. There's an Amazon review in the thing if you want to read it. It's pretty decent. Then there's a link to the Truth About Knives review. And it's actually, we don't read them or anything, but they did an excellent review of it. So, go to the Firearms Insider website and click on that if you want to know more. MSRP, like I said, is $129.95. Same price on Amazon. So if you need it now, get it either one of those places. Our rating, the pros. quickly sharpens knives, adjustable grinding angle, the mirror cutting edge you get when you use all 5 or all 4 all 4 belts, and it's just kind of amazing. The edge guide is actually a pro if you want consistent angles. The cons are also the edge angle guide because it's spring loaded and you can put too much pressure on it. And the learning curve is about it, all the cons I could find. So I gave it a score of 8.5, which is great. And that's the review. You guys over there have any questions?
I stand corrected. That was a decent review, Chad.
I have a comment, not so much a question.
Yeah.
So my philosophy with knives has long been buy the cheapest ones you can, and when they get dull, throw them away and buy new ones.
Yeah.
And the reason that is kind of my thing is because I hate sharpening knives. I have whetstones, I have Arkansas stones, I have those little things you get at the gun show that look like a pair of scissors that you're supposed to. I have all of them, and I absolutely despise sharpening knives. So I literally buy like $5 knives from the gas station, and when it gets dull, I throw them away and I buy another one. So something like this gives me hope in not buying trash knives, and I actually may look into this because I don't like using trash knives because I'm always worried they're gonna like break on me or
the
something.
thing is I will tell you, I don't know what kind of stores are close to you, but like Cabela's or Bass Pro or something.
Yeah.
Sometimes they will have like one of these set up, maybe the old school, the original, not the newer version, and that you can actually try out. So you can at least try it before you buy it. I
don't trust that though, because I'll trust your review way more than I trust that, because I saw a guy at a local festival show me how he sharpened a credit card with this thing and sliced a tomato, and I bought the thing, and it didn't sharpen my knives worth a F. So,
but did it sharpen your credit card?
It probably will sharpen a credit card, but it won't sharpen a knife. So
you can't blame him for you using it wrong.
I will mention in the comments.
Fair enough.
In the comments, Rusty said that he has one of their original ones, and he said it's not bad. You just have to be careful not to pull it too far through and roll the point, which is kind of what I was talking about with the guide. Same kind of deal.
Did you try this on a kitchen knife?
I did, but they're non-serrated kitchen knives.
That was my next question.
Wait.
Will it non-serrated?
Will it do serrated stuff?
No, I take that back. I did do a serrated kitchen knife, a bread knife, because it's only serrated ground on one side, so you can grind the.
You can sharpen the other side. Yeah.
Right. So,
what about scissors? Will it sharpen scissors? I know some people
do scissors.
Okay, cool.
If it's sharpened lawnmower blades, I'm sure it can sharpen scissors.
Hey man, scissors are finicky, dude. Like
scissors are finicky.
Scissors are finicky.
Well, the problem too with scissors is unless you got the ones that come apart, you're dealing with two open blades at the same time. You know.
Yeah,
and that can be kind of tricky to get them in there. But anyways,
a lawnmower blade. You can sharpen a lawnmower blade with an angle grinder, like.
Well, yeah, but. Not everybody has an angle grinder.
I tell you though, to some degree, I mean, I've talked to some people who are knife people, and they say that the stones and stuff are more of a honing tool as opposed to a sharpening tool. And I'm probably going to yell at for saying that, but
well, that's what's nice about this. It has 5 different belts, so you can go from coarse to as fine as you want. Dude, I got all the stones, all the everything, and all my knives it just makes a mess. They don't get sharp. I end up just making metal shavings over the
you do not have any stones because you use reduced recoil rounds, so I know you.
We're gonna go there again. Okay.
What I was gonna say for you guys is typically if they're somewhat sharp, and they'll even tell you this, you can use like the medium belt and then go to the fine belt, and you don't have to use this polishing belt to get a decent edge on it. And I've done that too, and it works fine.
What I want to know is how long did the belts last? Did you go through any belts? Because you said you broke actually a tip off, and then you had to reprofile the knife.
Yes, and I use this. No, I use this extra coarse one, and they're well, they call them engineered belts. And let me see if I can find a decent.
Now, what, they
When
drive
you
a
say-
train?
And if his camera didn't suck, you'd actually be able to see how.
No, you can
good
see it.
was.
You
Yeah,
see
you
how
kinda
it's kind of got grooves on it, and what
Yeah, it
it
looks like a
does
pair
is,
of blue jeans or something.
yeah, and so that when it wears out, it wears down, not just
So-
like a
So now,
sandpaper.
did you break the tip while you were sharpening the knife, or was that prior?
No, it was just one that I
Okay.
had broken the tip
You know,
trying to pry
listening
something.
to your review, it kind of reminds me of this is going to sound way off the wall, but a show on Food Network called Good Eats, where Alton Brown actually reviewed sharpening knives and gave you tips on how to properly sharpen a knife.
Right, and the only thing, if you want them razor sharp, you should probably
Professional.
get a strop
Stop.
with the
Yep. Gotta have a
compound
strap.
to use after you've done this. But even this extra fine blade, which is the fine belt, which is the only one that's almost wore out, probably because I polished gun parts with it.
Well, I
is
mean,
the-
that's actually not a bad idea because you could actually like you said, you could put your AR-15
like the hammer,
hammer and the
Yeah,
sear in
and-
there
right?
and polish them and get a nice smooth, get a nice.
Polish on it without killing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that should make it a little bit easier to fire it, right?
Yes, it smooths it out.
I feel like at
Plus-
this point we should mention that if you don't
The
know about
disclaimer?
you should not
Well,
be
that's
filing and
isn't this up here on the? This is especially true on live shows. Viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear the disclaimer?
I'm just
But
saying.
understand,
I know.
With that sander, when you're using it to polish like trigger parts, understand you could probably put that rough belt on and grind off the very tip of the firing pin.
No,
Now,
no,
do
no,
not listen.
no.
I know.
No, stop it! You stop it!
Tony.
You guys are not much help whatsoever.
My other legit question is how much a replacement belt, since you said it ground, I mean, are they
$18 for a
expensive?
set of 5.
That's
All right.
not. That's not terrible. Like that's.
And like I said, I have not worn
especially
it
with
out.
like. Look, if you're just like a random dude and you just carry an EDC knife, this ain't for you, bro.
No.
But like, if your wife got listen, if for the dudes listening out there, kitchen knives are expensive.
Oh yeah.
Like your wife may have spent several $100s on your kitchen knives and you don't know
A
it.
piece.
Yeah, like it's not hard to spend $1,000 on a set of kitchen knives and a block. That is not hard to do. So for those guys that are listening right now going, wait, really? Yeah, your wife probably bought knife. So when she's like, oh, these knives won't cut anything, this $130 tool might save you $1,000 in the long run. I'm just
And
Just throwing it out there.
the really sad part is Single is the guy that is telling you this.
He
let
cut
me
out-
go ahead and tell you,
he cut out a little bit there, but the guy who's
single.
I'm telling you about this. There's a reason I'm single because I don't play that.
Understand one thing. I got this fat without using $1,000 of freaking kitchen.
Well, yeah, you don't
That
need
is
to cut the
unnecessary.
food if you eat the whole thing.
You're rude. You're really rude.
Nice.
Man, I'm gonna have to.
This kid's
You're-
using the video games. Killing his
Is
bandwidth.
I was gonna say, is Chad like skipping roboting for anybody else?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kinda.
He is.
I don't
But-
know what's going on. I don't think my son's home, so I don't know what they're. Yeah, you guys were skipping out for me too, and I don't know why. So we'll just have to go on to something else, like
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a topic. It's
the
a topic
product
that's causing
spotlight
this.
and discussion. Oh, these are not reviews. These are
No,
just
they're not
discussions
reviews.
of new products.
So you mean
So
none
for-
of us use the product?
No.
First
Oh,
up,
okay. Let's talk about it.
don't you guys go?
Yeah. So first up
I'm trying
on
to figure out.
Yeah, so
Why?
first up on the product spotlight list is the SCCY CPX3. It is the I guess the new pistol from SCCY or Sky or however you say. That does not say Sky, but we'll call it Sky from here on out. This is chambered in 380 auto. It is, it's if you've never seen a Sky pistol, it looks pretty much like all their other pistols. Looks a little bigger, maybe. It's got a little thumb safety going on. My internet's kind of screwing up too, and I'm trying to pull up the actual websites while I'm stalling here. Here we go. So from Sky's website, it's new and innovative technology featuring the Roebuck Quad Lock for more repeatable accuracy. I have no idea what that means, but apparently they have redesigned their locking system that's going to make
it just sounds cool, man.
Apparently, it's going to make it more accurable.
Yes.
Accurable? That's not a word.
They've accurized it.
So the gun's going to come with 2 double stack magazines. That's 10 round capacity. So this is a double stack gun. All the Sky guns I've dealt with in the past have always been single stacks. So that's kind of a new thing, right? So is it?
They're all double stacks.
Are they?
They're all double stack 10 rounders. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Always have been.
I've seen them in classes. I've never okay. So all right, okay. Tony probably knows better than me because I've just seen him showing up in classes. Barrels machined from bar stock, 7 lands and grooves, and a 1-16 right hand twist. Like that really matters. Aircraft grade aluminum, 70-75. Slide is quality stainless steel, available with a natural stainless or a black nitride finish. And the grip in the frame is polymer. It's got finger grooves because, Glock finally figured out people don't want finger grooves, and Sky's like, we should totally put finger grooves on our gun. It's got a steel slide release or slide lock. 3-dot sight system. It's hammer fired, double action only.
Hold on. We completely lost something here.
Are we still live? We're still live.
Still live.
We are now, but no, it cut out. I don't know. And I don't think it had anything to do with this computer, and nobody's here. I think they cut us out. They didn't like us or something. So
you know what? Trump is shutting us down. That's what it is. It's clearly. I'm just playing, people. Please don't. I'm joking.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go back to start the product spotlight, and then we'll see where we can go from there. Let me see if this actually
just cut everything I set out.
Yeah. I don't even think. Hold on. I don't even think it recorded you. I don't think it's recording me.
Well, at least it has
say something.
Taste. Yeah,
hey, I heard that.
My volume thing is down. Angelo said my volume is low. Am I, guys?
Yeah. No, I hear you fine on the live.
Yeah, I do.
Well, there. We'll bump you up some. Maybe that'll help.
All right.
In a world where firearms industry people broadcast live over the internet, things happen.
The internet fails them, and the internet
fails those people.
Yeah, I don't. Can you guys hear me fine?
Yeah,
I got you.
Hear you.
Yeah, because for some reason it doesn't. It's there. We go. That's a little better.
So the folks watching live are like, "What is wrong with these idiots?" No, we're having technical.
Yeah,
we're literally having technical difficulties. And all this is probably going to be cut out for
our
the
entire
audio
show
listeners.
is technical difficulty.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to actually edit crap tonight.
But here's the funny part: everyone's listening are the guys that always listen anyway. So,
and they know we're all like idiots, so
they all know we're idiots. Great. Thanks, guys.
Live show. Angelo got to see me and Sean do the live show all the way to Harrisburg. He was probably ready to jump out of the vehicle by then. He's like, I'm sick of
probably.
It's Angelo, Rusty, Brian, and there was someone else in the comments earlier. Yeah, all thumbs.
Yeah.
So You know what? Y'all, okay. Y'all are in on the big secret now. Everyone that listens to the audio portion later, they won't be in on the secret.
Yeah, they won't. I'm still trying to figure out what the heck's going on with this thing. So,
well, hurry
at least it's recording me. Okay, let's go into the Sky CPX3. Yeah, whatever we want to call it.
SCCY does not spell sky. Sorry, it doesn't.
No, it spells something else.
Sky.
No, I'm looking. The first time I saw that, I thought it said sucky, but you know.
Now, how much of this am I gonna have to cut out? Okay.
A whole lot.
I need a beer at this point.
You go get a beer, and I'll see if I can actually get.
I'm doing shooters right now, so go ahead.
Because it doesn't. I don't know what's going on here. My computer hates me.
Chad hates me. That's okay.
No, I don't hate you. My computer hates me. Yeah, for some reason.
The product spotlight for this thing?
Yes. Okay, here we go. Product spotlight discussion. SCCY CPX3. MSRP of $349.99. Not that any of you care. Okay, somebody out there I'm sure does, because I care.
$349 at?
It says oh, now it's 305. What the heck? Well, when I put it in the show notes, it was 349.
It's
305 now. Well,
okay.
Thank you, Rob, for doing your job.
Hey, I saved you $40.
You saved somebody $40. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't save me $40. You saved somebody $40.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. But now we know it's $305. Basically, if you know anything about the Sky pistols, that I guess isn't pronounced that way, but that's how I've always said it. They are. I'm dying here, so whatever works. They are a double action only, hammer fired, small, inexpensive pistol. Not like super inexpensive, but still on the less expensive side. They have a new 380 out, and what it amounts to is it's a 10 round capacity 380. The only thing I don't like about it is it has finger grooves. It comes with 2 magazines. It's your standard metal slide with aluminum slide, bar stock barrel, grip frames made from Zytel polymer. So basically it's a polymer framed pistol if you didn't figure it out. Encapsulated recoil system, 3-dot sight system. It is double action only with hammer. Comes with a trigger guard lock, not that anybody cares. Dimensions. It has a 2.96 inch barrel. Its height is 4.2 inches. The length is 5.7. It is 1.1 inches wide, and it weighs 15 ounces. Basically, I actually have one of their CPX2s in 9mm, and it is an okay pistol. I have not had really any problems with it. So I don't like the finger grooves. I did like the size of this little 380. I thought it was a decent 10 round 380. From experience with my 9 and the one I felt at SHOT Show, the 380, the trigger is long and it's kind of heavy, but it's fairly smooth. It's not something out of the ordinary really bad. It's like I said, it's smooth. It's just long. It is really like a double action revolver.
So how would you? I was gonna say, how would you compare it to a double action revolver or like a car trigger?
The car triggers are a little shorter and lighter.
Okay,
but they're still long. But it is definitely, it's a revolver trigger. It's heavier and longer than.
So in my experience, it's very similar to like a J frame. trigger.
Yes, that would be a good explanation.
And I've not experienced many of them. I have very little time with them, but it's very J-frame-esque on the trigger.
Yes.
So
I
I
will.
was dry firing one because they had it over at Tanner's in Pennsylvania. So they had the CPX-1 and the CPX-2. Long trigger pull. And it's funny because it's a lighter trigger pull than most revolvers would be. I mean, it's around 9 pounds. Some revolvers, especially when you get in the small ones, some of them are like 12 pounds or more. So it has a. I don't like the finger grooves. It was like they were all in the wrong place. They were all in the wrong place.
I don't like the finger grooves either. But besides that, I don't know why they put the finger grooves, especially on this small of a pistol.
Yeah, I don't either. Considering, as slow as Glock is to catch on, they finally figured out that, they don't want finger grooves. Let's go ahead and take those off. Now Sky's like, finger grooves, peoples.
They've fix that with the Dremel.
Bad choice. Hey,
and
do they still have?
Rob just said, I have. That's not a huge problem.
What's that?
Yeah, he cut up.
Finger grooves aren't a huge problem because I have a Dremel. So,
yeah.
What do they still have the same lifetime warranty?
I believe they do.
Yeah, I mean that was one of their points is they have a lifetime transferable warranty. Well, this place in PA has used Skies for $149.
Oh yeah, that's the thing is, I think when I bought mine, I bought it new. It wasn't the 380, which they're a little more pricey, but I bought a CPX2, and I think I paid like $200. Maybe 210.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of 380. I think many years ago, 380 was a viable cartridge because of the size of guns, but I think nowadays they're very super tiny 9mm, and I just think 9mm is there's way more rounds that pass FBI specs in 9mm than there are 380. It's 380 ammo is still kind of a finicky thing, so I'd much rather go with a 9.
Yeah, and
I'm at the total opposite. I'd go with a 380. Everybody wants to get the 9 in the smallest pistol as possible, and then you have something to recoil so sharply you don't ever want to practice with it.
Okay, but would you run? But what ammo would you run through it? Because there's really no. Okay. Then I'm totally okay with that. But because there's not really any ammo out there that I'm seeing that's performing really well in the FBI test. So yeah, I'm with you. Full metal jacket, so I'm carrying a 38 right now. My camera's off, but I'm carrying a 38. Snubby right now, and it has lead round nose bullets in it because out of a short, tiny little barrel, there's no 38 ammo that really does good. So I'm cool with that. But if you're gonna stuff self-defense ammo in this, you're not gonna. It's not gonna be a thing.
What you're gonna do with putting self-defense ammo in a snub nose or a short barrel 380 is pay a lot of money for ammo that's going to perform like Full Metal Jacket.
In that new Shield 380 EZ thing that has a little bit of a longer barrel to it, you're going to probably get some performance or whatever. But on something like this, you're not. So, and that's why I'm more of just get the 9 because there's ammo available that works out of short barrels. And there's a trade-off there. The recoil, like Tony's talking about, it's a thing. Neither one of us are necessarily wrong. Neither one of us are necessarily right. You got to kind of decide what's more important to you. My biggest thing with the Sky is, and it's totally anecdotal, but I've had 2 come through concealed weapon classes, and I've also had 2 malfunction during concealed weapons classes, and that's sample size of 2, completely anecdotal. But that's my personal experience.
Well, malfunction or stop working. I mean, a malfunction in class is no big whoop.
It is in my classes.
Not work?
It is in my classes because we're not we're standing and so Yeah. No, I've used Skies on 2 different occasions to demonstrate how to clear malfunctions. Because I usually demonstrate when a student's pistol malfunctions, because I usually bring crap pistols to class. So when one of theirs malfunctions, I'm like, okay, now we're going to demonstrate how to clear a malfunction on a handgun.
I see how you work.
And if that doesn't happen, I just pull my 1911 out, and eventually that one will malfunction. So
yeah, just yours, nobody else's.
I just had to troll the internet just a little bit there for a minute.
Like we haven't trolled them all night with this podcast.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, we actually create malfunctions so we can teach people to freaking clear them. We don't wait for nature to happen.
Hey man. It's too much work to set up a malfunction with a Glock. I'll just put the Glock away, pull out the 1911, and be like, eventually something's going to go wrong with this piece of crap.
Zane, ain't you ever heard of dummy rounds?
I got them. I got them, bro.
One. You're talking to a dummy round.
No, and to be fair, we've pretty much decided that my 1911 and the single mag I have for it is bad. But I still just like to troll the internet with it, so whatever.
Yeah.
You all can go F yourselves.
Okay, well, I think Zane needs another beer.
I think Zane's had too many beers tonight, but
beers.
Yeah, I think you guys are right. I think he does.
Zane's gonna end up in his wife beat on the front porch on PD Live if he keeps.
No, dude. I live on a farm and I lock the gates before I come home, so the cops can't even get to my house. It's cool.
They have helicopters.
Hey, I'll reserve comment.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot him down with my flight control.
Nope, not going there.
Okay.
Oh, that's another reduced recoil joke. I see what you did.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna make it, but okay. Next up is, now that we're done with the Sky Pistol, because hey, it's out there. You know, some of us think it's okay, others don't. But that's such as life. We have up the Daniel Defense new Delta 5 rifle.
Let me hold on. Yeah. Florida man's gonna stop you again.
Geez.
So my biggest thing is this with the Sky Pistol, and I forgot to mention it, but so my biggest thing is, for that money, you can usually find deals on a Smith & Wesson Shield for about that same price, which is a proven reliable design. I do not own one. I'm not actually a huge fan of the Shields, but they work. So my opinion is get that instead. But, if you want the 10 rounds, which you get, more rounds with this, hey, whatever. But you can usually pick up shields right now for about $300, brand new. And I don't think anyone here would argue that they're they're a proven, firearm at this point.
Comparing the Shield to this, okay, you lose magazine capacity, but you get a better trigger. You get more aftermarket support. You get rid of finger grooves. And again, you can pick up used shields.
A little narrower.
Like $250. Yeah, and they're thinner, but I mean, you're right in the same category. Probably weigh a little less too. Between the two, I'd go with the Shield because of the better trigger and better aftermarket support, better sights. The warranty on the Sky is great, but you have a longer double action trigger pull, not striker fired. I really did not like the feel of the gun. That's why I keep talking about the finger grooves. It was like, ew, what's in my hand? I mean, it was because I was checking out a lot of different guns at the time at the counter, because one of the things I was thinking about was a concealed carry gun. So I'm looking at different things, and really when I picked it up, it was not something that I went, ooh, this is nice. But on the other hand, Sean checked one out and he liked it, and his hands are large also. It just did not feel good. But also Sean owns an LCP, so
I don't know how he shoots that thing.
Extended magazine.
You stick one finger on it, and then the other finger pulls the trigger. That's how you shoot it.
So that
Okay.
that was my caveat, and Tony chimed in. Sorry about that,
Yeah,
Chad.
no, that's fine. I don't even know if I'm being recorded or not. I mean, it's.
I think that folks on the live chat can hear you.
I know,
so-
and you guys can hear me, but every time I talk, my like little thing never hardly moves, but it keeps going. So I guess I'll find out later, and if not, we'll just pull the YouTube video.
If all else fails, you can rip the audio from
Yeah, I know.
YouTube, can't you?
Yeah, and that's the thing is I hate to because it doesn't sound as good, but whatever. So next up is the Daniel Defense Delta 5, which is their new bolt action rifle with an MSRP of $2,199, which amazed me because that's a lot less than I expected it to be. So I guess I can't say too much. What it is they designed a bolt action rifle. It does not use your standard action. It's their own action barrels. Basically, the only thing that it uses a AC Accuracy International pattern magazine, so you can use the PMags and the MDTs and stuff like that. Right now, it's available in 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, and 7mm 08. The 308 has a 20-inch barrel. The others have 24-inch barrels. The twist rates 1 in 10 for 308, 1 in 8 for Creedmoor, and 1 in 9 for the 7mm 08. 40-inch and 44-inch total length. 8.9 pounds and 9.5 pounds. They are threaded 5/8 24 for your suppressor or muzzle devices. It uses an interchangeable barrel system. It's kind of hard to explain. It's kind of like a cross between what is it? The Savage bolt action style and an AR. It's kind of you kind of have to look at the pictures to see, but it's pre-head spaced like an AR with their barrel support on there. It is a bedded stainless steel action, kind of like the Magpul stock does. It's a 3-lug bolt, 60-degree throw. It does have a removable bolt knob with the standard 5/16 24 threads. It uses a Timney Elite Hunter single stage trigger, and it has a 2-position safety. The trigger is adjustable from 1.5 to 4 pounds. It comes with a 20 MOA scope base, bottom metal, of course. The stock is carbon fiber reinforced polymer. It has an adjustable cheek riser on the stock. It also has configurable buttstock. I like how they said that. Length of pull by butt pad spacers. Has M-lock on the forend. And some M-lock QD sling points. Comes with 5-round magazine. Something about the bolt lug. The recoil lug is built into the actual action itself. It's not a piece that's clamped between the barrel and the action like other people. And if you know anything about those calibers, you don't have to change the bolt, just the barrel. So you can essentially buy a different barrel and shoot a different caliber because the bolt face head is the same on all those. That about sums it up. I did not shoot it at SHOT Show, but I did, feel it at their booth, fondle it, as Tony likes to say, and I liked it.
Fondle.
Yes, I actually liked it. I was kind of impressed with it. The trigger pull's nice. At first I was a little disappointed that it wasn't a industry standard action, but then I saw the price for what you get, and I was like, I don't think it really matters for that. And most of the time, if anybody knows about Daniel Defense, I mean, this is less priced than some of their AR-15s. So they brought it in at a decent price, in my opinion.
I agree. I like Dan as a company. I know they made kind of a misstep a while back politically, and they got a lot of heat for that. I think they make good products. I think they make good rifles. They've been a huge supporter to the Friends of NRA organization, which is different from the NRA. It's a separate thing. I'm not a bolt gun guy. I don't think anyone is unaware of that.
You're gonna be though, right?
One day I'm gonna get into it. But I can expect that the gun is made with the same quality as their ARs are made with. And if they are, I'm sure it's gonna be a great gun. And I'm sure it's gonna be able to compete with your Ruger Precisions, your whatever. It's kind of weird they came out with a 7mm 08 chambering. Yeah. That's a strange chambering. I like that cartridge. I think it's an awesome hunting cartridge, but it's just kind of a strange, if you got 6.5 and 308, 7mm 08's kind of an odd, but hey, whatever. There's some dudes that really like that cartridge. So I expect the rifle to work good. I hope it works good. If it's anything like their ARs, I'm sure it's going to be just fine and worth the money.
Yeah, and with the 7mm 08, I don't know why they did it either, but some of the 7mm bullets you can get pretty good ballistic coefficients with. So that's
it's an outstanding round. It's a great round, but the people who like that round are the same people who carry 45 because they don't make a 46. And, the M1 Garand won a world war and, stuff like that. So not your target market for this rifle.
Right.
The 6.5 and the 308 are going to way outsell the 7mm 08.
Well, yeah.
Well,
right now they're way more popular, but
I look at it. I was looking at what they were doing, and I'm trying to see through the marketing hype to actually what you're getting compared to what other companies can give you. Immediately, I threw out the interchangeable barrel.
Yep.
Nobody does it. That's out. They came up with their own action, which is awesome. A lot of people use the 20 MOA Picatinny scope base.
If that action works, which I assume it does, because Daniels usually doesn't make trash, but.
No, I'm not even saying they do, but they don't have a track record of making bolt guns.
Nope, they do not.
So, before I go Google Gaga over anybody, you go, okay, they make great AR-15s. Well, they have, barrels on them. That's the only thing that a bolt gun has in common, except M-Lock furniture. I wish them the best, but I'm just starting to go over it. And when you start leaving out cute sales speak, what are they actually bringing to the table that companies like Savage, Remington, Winchester, Browning, Weatherby? I mean, it's like, what are we talking here? I mean, if you're a Daniel Defense fanboy and you want to go ahead and buy Daniel Defense guns, go right on. And I can still even go into Tika, Sacco. I mean, there are companies that already have themselves established as bolt gun companies, Christensen Arms.
Yeah, you're 100% not wrong. Which is kind of why I said I expect this to be fine, but it might not be, because they don't. That's not their thing. They've done before.
I still expect it to be better than the Remington.
If it's not better than Remington, I'm gonna call Marty Daniel personally.
Yeah.
Be like, what the F, bro? No, I'm gonna think it's gonna be. I hope, anyways, it's gonna be in that same quality of like an RPR or your Tika tactical. What is the Tika? Is the T? I don't know the nomenclature of it. They're quote unquote tactical rifle. and it's kind of in that price point, a little higher. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if it's worth it or not. I don't expect us to compete with the Ruger Americans, the Mossberg MVPs, this Savage. That's not what this is designed to compete with.
Savage 110 brings most of this to the table. That's what I'm saying. Some models of it.
Yeah.
You can go into different things and find different things. Great that Daniel Defense makes it. They're into this game. They obviously, you don't go into this half-stepping, so they probably picked the 3 most popular cartridges with the same size bolt head, right? So
yep, all based on a 308 cartridge. Yeah,
exactly. So good to go. Wish them all the best of luck. Hope it kicks butt and they become a powerhouse in this too. There's no reason for them not to. But I love the gun industry because they're like, hey, we need people to be innovative and come up with new stuff. Daniel Defense did. And then they go, well, why is it so much? I'm like, because they invented something. Totally
because they were innovative.
They did not go with the Ruger. They didn't go with the Remington action. They didn't go with the Winchester Act. They came up with their own thing.
Yeah.
And would I buy something brand new that was innovative, even from a company like Daniel Defense? Nah.
Nope. If I was going to buy a bolt gun right now, it would still be a Tikka. I'm still on that Tikka train, and I do not own a bolt gun other than a Mosin Nagant.
Okay.
Because I don't bolt gun, man. But if I was going to get one right now, it would be a Tikka. And I want this Daniels to change my mind about that. Because I like Daniels as a company. I know that a lot of people got mad at them with that thing a while back, but I see what they do for the industry firsthand as a volunteer with Friends of NRA. So I like the company. I want them to succeed, and I want them to change my mind and make me say, you know what? I don't want that Tikka. I want this Daniels. But as of right now, still going with the Tikka because it's unproven. It doesn't have a track record yet.
The thing is, this is $2,200.
Yeah, and that's
the
not
Ruger
cheap.
Precision is $1,600.
Yep.
It's the 308 is 1 pound heavier, so.
And it's a proven system.
I've got one. The RPR is a phenomenal rifle. It is truly a sub MOA rifle, and I showed you guys what I did when I took that rifle class with it. I had a sub 5-inch group at 500 yards. 3 rounds at 500 yards.
Yeah, no, and one's. I think there's high expectations for this gun.
I'd love to shoot it, but
if it doesn't,
my hands on it.
If it doesn't perform to,
we'll know about it.
How it should. We're gonna hear about it because there are gonna be dudes to get their hands on it, and they're gonna tell you whether it sucks or not.
Yep.
And I hope it doesn't. I hope it's worth every penny. I really do because I like Daniel's Defense as a company. But at this point, I cannot recommend you go buy this gun. You know what I mean?
It has no track record. There's nothing wrong with it. It's
I'm going with the only problem I see is Zane has repeated himself that he likes Daniels.
I do. I like Daniel's Defense, man. Listen, so I've been drinking.
No kidding.
I'm just razzing you because why not?
Now, kind of, y'all remember back when Daniels kind of got a bad rap because they released a statement that was.
Yeah, I remember.
It was and at the time I kind of agreed with them, and then realized that I was wrong, and they realized they were wrong, and everybody went back on it, but. They didn't pull like an X Products thing, or like what Springfield did back in the day. Like it was very minor compared to that. And like I said, I see what Daniels does, every day they donate rifles But Rob, you work with Friends of NRA, so you know Daniels is a huge.
They had the gun of the year a couple years ago. The first AR-15 is a gun of the year, and they're good at donating stuff. But again, if I was a startup company or if I was a company, I want to get my name out there, you donate a crap load of guns to the NRA and you'll get good
Well,
publicity from that.
you're not wrong there. You're absolutely not wrong there.
I mean,
But,
here's the thing. I mean, it is what it is. I've not shot it, so I'm not going to say yes, no, we're indifferent. But on the whole, you're talking $2,200 versus $1,600 for a same Ruger precision rifle.
So, dude, so at the end of the day, it's a $2,000 bolt gun. I mean,
100, I believe.
Well, your street price is going to be
$2,200.
So,
but understand this though, you have a bolt gun,
and it's a proprietary action, mind you. That action may be super freaking awesome, or that action may turn out to suck. We just don't really know.
And that's the problem with new guns like this. You never know. I mean, because it's from a reputable company, you hope that it will be decent. But you never know.
The All American was from a freaking good company too.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Should I bring up SIG?
No.
Yeah.
No, we're done. We're done with it. We're going to listener feedback.
Okay, let's go to the next segment, please.
If you bring up the SIG, don't drop it.
Yeah. Thanks, Tony. We actually have some listener feedback, kind of, sort of. One came email, one came from Facebook, of all things. This one's from Jason M, and it says, "You guys rock. I enjoy listening to everyone on this podcast. I never get to see it live, but while I'm working, I'm listening. The banter is great, and love the information. That's when you have reviews done. Haha. Thanks. I'm looking to be a snowbird in Florida when or before I retire. I'm wondering where I can go to get Florida gun information and shooting ranges. It says life, but I'm sure I live in Michigan at the moment and want to try to get my CPL in Florida now if I can. Thank you for your time and keep up the great work you do."
Move down here. You sound to be like a good pro-gun person, so move down here and register to vote. We're getting a bunch of yahoos taking over the state, and we're about to put some anti-gun people in the Senate.
So here's the thing. He's probably going to moving to Southwest Florida because that's where people move when they retire. Okay. It's affectionately referred to as God's waiting room by a lot of people.
Nice.
To include our friend Steve Fisher refers to all of Florida as God's waiting room.
It pretty much is.
It pretty much is. So here's about your CPL. Your Michigan license may work in Florida. I can't remember. Florida's license is good in 30. We have reciprocity with 33 states. 33 or 32. It changes regularly. The other thing is, if you have training done, you may be eligible to just apply for the license and not have to take training. The issue in Florida is anybody and their sister can become a concealed weapons instructor. If you're an NRA instructor, you can teach concealed weapons class. So if you're like an NRA metallic cartridge reloader instructor, you can technically, under Florida law, teach a concealed weapons course. So that being said, if you do decide to take a class from someone, do your research, find someone who doesn't suck. But
okay,
yeah, Florida there's plenty of gun stuff in Florida. If you want to do gun training in Florida, you are in the right place because all the trainers that travel around nationally
come to Florida in the wintertime.
In the wintertime, this is where they come teach classes because everywhere else in the country sucks. So, there's two parts to this question. He wants to know about where to find shooting ranges at. I download the NSSF app, Where to Shoot. That's got shooting ranges throughout the country. Hell, wherever you travel, you can go there, boom, boom, boom. And there's another app out there called, I think we reviewed this a while back, called CCW. And this has updated periodically information about concealed carry laws, where you can carry, permits honored, permits not honored. He said he's from Michigan, I believe. Yep. And according to CCW, the state of Michigan is honored by the state of Florida. I thought it was. I just wasn't positive.
You can also get an out-of-state concealed carry permit in Florida, I believe.
Yes, you can get a non-resident license, but it's the
Yeah.
same requirements replied to get. So I thought it was covered as I teach concealed carry in Florida.
Yeah.
I probably should know it off the top of my head, but
Zane, here's the thing: these laws change daily, hourly, weekly, minutely. So
Yep.
I would definitely check with the state of Florida. What is it? The Department of Agriculture actually runs our concealed carry permit down here.
for now,
Yeah.
that's a.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always that
We'll
little
probably
variation
talk
like that.
about that tomorrow on This Week in Guns because that might be a thing.
Yay. Okay, so next up it says, hey, you guys, or hey, guys, love the show. I have a message for Tony or Rob. I think it's more for Rob because he can't remember who the FN fanboy is.
That'd be Rob.
I wanted to say, if you own an FNS and you buy an FN 509 tactical, cough, just ask sweetly, call FN customer service. You may or may not have heard this on our show, so do not let them know. I added that in, by the way, and you may get some free butt plates, floor plates, and you can use those FN mags with your 509. Cough, laugh out loud. By the way, you guys aren't kidding about how expensive FN mags are. It's absurd. Keep up the good work. I got a bad astigmatism and can't use red dots for blank, but I want a quality, low power variable optic like the US optics are similar, but sub $1,000. This says I need some used and reviews stuff. Thanks again, Hammy from Kentucky, the current gun-free state. And he says his favorite current rifle is his SBR Scar 16.
Get a Scar 17.
There's a lot
What's
to
he saying? Using the FNS mags and the FN 509 tactical?
Yeah, if you get the base pads.
Apparently, if you swap out the floor plates, they'll work. Is what he's saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which,
Cool.
with the cost of FN mags, that's worth looking into.
Yeah,
no
even if you
kidding.
buy the floor plates, they're cheap. They got to be cheaper than buying a whole freaking magazine.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
kidding.
buddy.
Well, the thing that irks me the most about FN is their FNX and FNS. The only difference is one's a hammer fired, the other's a striker fired.
Yep.
They have different magazines. You cannot use the X mags in the S, nor can you use the S in the X. You have to.
I assume that has to do with the bore axis of the gun and where the
Probably.
magazine feeds from.
Probably.
I have no
509
idea, but it is absolutely insanely stupid.
Yeah, and I have a feeling with the 509 being a striker gun, a simple floor plate replacement would make that possible, which is what he
the
looks
FNS
like he's. Yeah, the 509 is a striker gun, just like the FNS. So,
so this is interesting.
Yeah.
As to his question on an LPVO for under $1,000,
I was going to say there are a lot of them that have come out recently. Some of them are going to be in the show notes here and there. I know Shepherd Scopes have a couple out, and I believe they're under the $1,000 range. I looked through one of them at SHOT Show, but that's it. And of course, you don't get a good view of what you're looking at. I do know who is it? Right On. They came out with one. I think theirs is like a $1,200 price tag, but that's kind of one of those things. They're going to be a little. They have theirs is like MOA reticle, MOA adjustments unlike the US Optics one. Then of course there is always the Vortex ones, but they don't really have one in between. I don't know if there's another one, but if you want a red dot and don't actually want the variable optics, you can always go with what are they, the Strike Fire or something from Vortex, the one that's
it's not a red dot.
It's an etched reticle, one power. Yeah.
So I think
my astigmatism is bad too. I red dots really blur up and look bad to me and trail out. But here's something else you should consider. Look into picking up some used optics. A lot of different forums online, people want to trade up or get rid of some stuff, and you can catch something used that's valuable that's worth well more than $1,000 you're looking to spend. I mean, you just buyer beware, of course, like anything else.
Especially if you want like a 1 to 4, or if that's okay, because a lot of people are going to the 1 to 6, 1 to 8s. Theoretically, I've only seen the prototype. The Addable is making a 1 to 10 with a true 1X, and I think they're trying to hit the $1,000 mark.
Well, so another thing to keep in mind here is context is extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
What is the optic gonna be for? If you're looking to put this on a home defense gun, don't just. I mean, you don't need it at that point, and the ones that are under $1,000 just aren't worth a damn for realsy use. Like, you know what I mean? If you're wanting to reach out to 300 yards, okay,
like if you're shooting 3-gun or something, or
look at a 1 to 4, 1 to 6. If you're wanting to reach out to 500 yards, look at your 1 to 8s, and then you're gonna have to sacrifice some glass quality at that point. If you're just totally looking for a toy that you're just like, whatever. Yeah, man, look at that one you're talking about, that 1 to 10 by Addable. You know, maybe it'll be good, maybe it won't be. I don't know. And like Tony said, look into the used market. But honestly, I think context is we don't really have the context here. So I hesitate to recommend anything because I don't know what the gun's going to be for. Are you going to be hunting with it, home defense? Is it for plinking at the range, for 3-gun, for competition? So I don't want to recommend anything specifically, but just what I will say is look at your quote-unquote mission and then start to narrow down your search from there, and you'll find something.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Tony,
Yo,
you're up.
I say, really, if you want to get some good glass, you go down to Walmart in the sporting goods section and Bush.
Why? Why do you keep?
I know.
That's the second time tonight.
It's just that type of show for me tonight.
So the second is for everyone, diversity shoot.
The next event is Saturday, the 28th or something. I don't know what the hell it is.
It's never going to be on the Saturday. It's going to be Thursday, February 28th, 6 p.m. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a gun for hire range in Woodland Park. Tickets will be on sale soon. I have to set everything up, but I've been really busy running back and forth to Harrisburg. So as soon as I get that set up, it's going to go live. Stick around. It'll be on my Facebook page. It'll be on Instagram. I'll even put it in LinkedIn for you guys. It'll be on Simon Says Train. It'll be on The Second is for Everyone. I'll even put it on our Minuteman Challenge Facebook page. So if you subscribe to anything, you'll be able to find it. We're picking up some new sponsors. I'd like to say one thing. Timber Creek hooked us up and gave us one of their brand new Timber Creek ambidextrous charging handles for the Rob rifle, and also their barrier stop, all in anodized red. So this thing has mad red Timber Creek highlights in anodized aluminum. Awesome rifle, great company. A lot of companies out like that support us, and I'd like to give a shout out to them. And again, if you're near Harrisburg, get over to them. You can pick up some stuff, and they have great show discounts. No one asked me to do this, but when I find out you can save money, come on, dude. I'm going to let you know. So, the 28th of February, Gun for Hire Range, Woodland Park. If you want to donate to us, you can still donate to our GoFundMe, 2A4E. It'll come right up. If you want to become a patron on Patreon, you can do that. We got some cool stuff coming up. We got a few more knives. And we're going to start putting together packages for you guys. So we might actually have just a random name picked every week and send you some cool swag items. Because I want to get you guys stuff every week. Rob Pink has won the Winter Warfare patch. We randomly pulled his name, and he's a patron. And I was like, hey, Rob, you won. What do you want to do with it? He was like, redraw. Give it to somebody else. But the patch is badass. But he was like, give the patch to somebody else and someone else have a chance to win. So in this week's show, be a new drawing for the January patch. and one of our patrons will win it. Well, it's not even win it; it's a giveaway. We're just going to pick a random name for that because it's not a raffle. It's just for supporters. But thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate you letting me come to you every week and talk about the diversity shoot. And I appreciate you guys listening to this. Thanks.
Okay, and because we're not political here, and because I don't live in Oregon, March 23rd, be at the Oregon Capitol in Salem so we can stop all the anti-gun crap they're trying to push. There's a bunch of Oregon companies getting behind this. Look it up if you're curious. It is, however, Tony's favorite fan's birthday that day, but I will still be there. And I will have Tony's blue shirt on.
Awesome. Oh yeah, you guys are going to do that? 1022clothing.us. I do not get paid on the rally shirt at all. It's $10.
Yeah.
If you can go in a group buy with your friends, dude, it's $10 for a t-shirt. That makes no difference, dude. If that camera catches that shirt, it puts that message out, and it might start those conversations. That's why I did it.
Yep. Okay. Send questions, comments, feedback to gungearreview@gmail.com. Remember to subscribe and leave us an iTunes review or any other way you want to give us a review. We're okay with that. Check out all the other shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv. Be sure to visit the Firearms Insider for reviews and industry coverage. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Firearms Insider. And thank you for listening to the largest pound for pound podcast on the network. And we are out.
Bye, Felicia.